everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Texans going up against the Bengals. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are in the place the folks here call the Jungle, and that's Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd, and they're all set as they'll match up with the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They, too, were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visual. That's what they're thinking about. Making that play, having leverage.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kevin Minter. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Well, there was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. He's still on his feet. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bengals take possession. Here come the Bengals now to take over. Their 7th-year quarterback from TCU bringing him onto the field. That's the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton.
Well, he started his season the way that everyone wants to start their season, with an absolute bang. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Let's see where he goes from here.
Set the bar high. Week 2, we'll see what he can do. Dalton, 1st and 10. That's caught by Uzama. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
When you're right on the verge of being a top 10 overall offense in the NFL, you would think that things are pretty good for your team. But the Bengals want to improve. They were 13th in rushing, and for a team that wants to run the football first, last, and always, that's an area that they're trying to jump up in 2017.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's 3rd down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
After a while, when you talk about J.J. Watt, you tend to run out of superlatives because he's just about done everything that a player can do in the league. NFL Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. Leads his team each and every game that he plays in. But the best part about him to me, besides the absolute physical talent, is that he elevates everyone else's game. He plays so well, plays so hard, that if you don't try to reach that and match that around him, it becomes obvious. So I think he elevates his team in that way.
Now Dalton. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Every time you throw a completion, you think, boy, that's a wasted opportunity, don't you?
Yeah, because last year they were number 2 against the pass, was this Houston defense.
And J.J. Watt is back for all of 2017. They'll be that much stronger.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. He'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
There's never been any doubt that Lamar Miller is a complete running back. He's a guy who can run it, catch it, protect the passer, but didn't get the opportunity to become a lead runner until 2016 with the Houston Texans, and he went over 1,000 yards in a season for the 2nd time in his career.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. To throw is Watson. Anderson a 1st down and more. And Anderson's got it. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
The Cincinnati defense is well respected around the league, but they didn't play to their standard in 2016 if you just look at the pure numbers. Ended up 17th overall in total defense, but in the tough division that they're in, the AFC North, they have to be better against the run. They ranked just 21st in 2016. That's got to change for them to make the improvement they want in 2017.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Faking the give. Now Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot. Couldn't connect. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the 2nd down incompletion. Throwing on 3rd down. Watson. And now another one thrown incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. And a nice spin into some open field. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now a 1st carry for Giovanni Bernard. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they're in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
A 1st carry now. This is hitting down to the 36.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Hill. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's taken down at the 27. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
He was looking for John Ross that time. And now it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Dalton gives to Bernard. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 0-0 our score. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but face... Throwing, Dalton. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Christian Covington in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And we were scoreless up until this point in the 2nd quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. 1st quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along, or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And now out comes Houston. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up? Well, you had to punt on your 1st drive, and on the first play of the 2nd drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Lamar Miller went to Houston to be the lead running back, the featured guy, but still, I think Coach Bill O'Brien might have felt he overused him a little bit in the season. His touches
force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. And partner with a new quarterback running the show for the Texans this year, you'd imagine they'd want to rely on Miller quite a bit.
Yeah, I think it was a great idea that they did in 2016. I think they'll expand his role in 2017. The early part of his career, he didn't get the number of carries that he got in 2016. He's still fresh and ready to go. Run it and catch it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. For a Cincinnati score. Brandon LaFell, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Watson going to give this one to Miller. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
On second down, here's Miller. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. The Texans on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Watson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
As aggressive as Cincinnati is on defense, I was surprised that they only had 33 sacks last season.
Yeah, bottom half of the NFL.
I think that helped contribute to them not making the playoffs. Remember, they had a nice little run going. That's the first time they missed in the last 6.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. When halftime rolls around in just a bit, we'll send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet mean good?
Yeah, it's just something that broadcasters say. It's got to be good, right?
It's got to be good.
You tell me.
Well, it's got to be good if Larry's doing it.
Watson on first down. Flushed out right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back to throw, Watson. And he first shot in there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And he's got Miller. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. It's a gain of 20 that time. And it's good enough for a Houston first down.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their... And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Texans draw a bit closer. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And they will line up now for the 2-point try.
Let's go!
Watson now to throw. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Returning it, John Ross. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
1st and 10 for Dalton. And the grab by Croft. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And over the middle, it's LaFell. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And now comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Strong grabs it over the middle. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson on the right side. This is Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. On 1st and 10, Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, as the first half is winding down, and the Texans have cut it to within a score. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Bengals are happy to be sitting in the locker room with the lead. The Texans just want to come out after the half and claw their way back into the game. All right, let's roll the highlights. About halfway through the second, Miller's able to spin away here, and this two-play drive goes for a TD. Texans trail now by 4. Now 1st and 10, LaFell's wide open on the deep pass, and he caps off the two-play drive with the score. Bengals go up by 11. Texans take over late in the second. On the carry, there goes Lamar Miller. And he ends up rushing in for his second touchdown. Texans now down by just 3. Staying late in the half, Dalton hooks up with his speedy rookie from Washington, John Ross. And a quick 3-play drive ends with the score, pushing the lead to 10. Still late in the first half, Hopkins is by himself here, and nobody can stop him on this long touchdown, cutting the deficit to 3.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, good move. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Holding offense.
So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. And Green with a catch left side. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving Day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt. And so far, it's working for both of them.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Andy Dalton. They set up the screen to Hill. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Dalton off play action. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. A Good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he fires one incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Back to the air. Watson on second down. Gets it to Strong. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. Brandon looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Throwing again is Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Again, it's Watson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. 20. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Come on, let's go.
Watson looks to throw again. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Steven Anderson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans draw a bit closer. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
The Bengals getting set to go. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners, keep moving and keep grinding the clock.
12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds, because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Here's Bernard. Look at the spin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And finally, he's taken down at the 18. A big play there for the Bengals. 42 yards. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Dalton. On the screen, Bernard. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Giovanni Bernard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals add on to their lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And now running right through it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. On first down, it's Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They'll run again with Bernard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. Taking it about the 16. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans take possession. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Adam Jones, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Now a carry for Bernard. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And ready now for 2nd and 9. Again, here's Bernard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Bengals, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Bengals.